Alaric Obama.
And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock. It is Wednesday, April 10th. I'm Josh Engleman. I'm joined by Eric Lindquist. We're brought to you by Sleeper. And we've got basketball tonight, that's for sure. 10 of the 12 teams that play today are on a back-to-back from yesterday. Countless players are not playing, including one Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is now out for the rest of the regular season. It's all just it's a bummer. It's a bummer across the board. Nothing worse than stars being hurt. But for now, we're going to talk about everything that we have to talk about for today, for today's slate. If you haven't done it yet, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow us both on Twitter. We got a big one ahead of us. What's going on, man?
Not much. Excited for Masters talk tonight. I'm going to be on playback at 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Pacific time, talking Masters with one Forsaken, one downside of me, Jesse from Canada, the faceless man. We're going to be doing a couple of hours talking Masters coverage. If you guys are interested, if you're going to be utilizing the PG Sims, the lineup generator, anything, we'll walk you through everything, but also totally not a tout show. Totally not a tout show.
I would tune into that, but I will be asleep. I'll put it on at 11 o'clock. I assume I'll be out by 11:03. That would just be natural since you are Al Bohr. That was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Really.
All the yucks on this show, everybody. And I don't mean gross. I mean yucks. Let's talk some basketball, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Pay up options for today. That is where we start. We've got a $12,800 Luka Doncic. We've got a $10,100 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then we don't have anybody else above 10K. So we're going to loop in the 9Ks for today. That's going to be DeJounte Murray, maybe. Damian Lillard.
He just got ruled out like while you were talking.
Did he really?
Sure did.
Like I said, DeJounte Murray is ruled out. Obviously, that's what I said before.
Yep, I heard that.
Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young. That's everybody above 9K. Man, that didn't take long. Who is your preferred pay-up option today, and why is it Damian Lillard?
It is 100% Damian Lillard. It is Damian Lillard because does north of 37.5% assist rate with Giannis off the floor seem interesting? Does endless usage with no Middleton and Giannis off the floor seem interesting? He is 9,200. 9,200. He's just an absolute slam dunk play at the top. I mean, this is like all of those Kyrie games when you have Luka out, only on the other side, you just have inaptitude. So it is a Milwaukee side that I just find it impossible to get away from. Specifically this guy, Damian Lillard, the best spend up. But I kind of have a hot take from the top end. I wouldn't be surprised to what?
I doubt you have a hot take. What is your hot take?
I don't know if I want to say it anymore.
You should allow us to determine the temperature of your take. You should say, I have a take. What is the range of temperature for this take? And then you'll say, I really like Donovan Mitchell, and we'll say burr.
I was going to say, I think Luka and Kyrie are very live to sit today out of the middle of nowhere.
It wouldn't shock me. No disagreements there.
Oh, okay. So how's the take? Is it better than you were expecting or worse?
Well, it's not hot.
It's pretty hot. No, they're not on the injury report.
They are 98.6% to be the 5 seed.
Correct. So that's what I'm getting at.
Not a lot going on for Dallas there. Now, obviously, Mark Cuban doesn't care about getting fined. They will get fined for this one if one of those dudes sits. But they really don't have much to play for or any particular reason to put their foot on the gas. So that said, I assume Luka plays like 42 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm going to have 0 of him. So that's useful. If he ends up playing, there's just no reason to have him out there for endless minutes against a Miami team that has things to play for and will be aggressive. And like, it seems stupid. It almost seems like coaching malpractice if Jason Kidd's going to have them out there doing anything. Like, on a back-to-back, you are the 5 seed. It's basically done. It's basically written in stone. What are you doing playing on a back-to-back, having Luka go 36, 38 minutes? Like, could he get there in 32? Sure. Like that wouldn't surprise me with the Luka situation, but like, even if they end up playing, I'm not going to have just anybody out of those core Dallas guys. It's a terrible matchup and a back-to-back, and they have nothing to play for. So I just want it on everybody's radar, at least. Not that you won't be able to react to it. We have like a grand total of one basketball game to react to, Memphis, Cleveland. But in that next window of games, would not shock me to see out of the middle of nowhere, oh, Luka and Kyrie were just ruled out.
I assume that doesn't happen, but I also think that we're very likely to see them just not play like they normally do. And that's enough to just make it a problem to get to a 12-8 Luka. You need a pretty specific scenario. I mean, we do have him 13 fantasy points ahead of anybody else on the slate. So that is a little bit of a problem. His upper tier is bigger than anybody else's. But at the same time, they have absolutely no incentive to put their pedal to the metal during the game. And if they just want to be a little lighter, that's all it takes for him to become really difficult to pay off at 12-8. I think that's the more likely scenario. And I'm sure you agree with that one. Like, they just get a little limited instead of just late scratch.
Yeah, I think that that's more live to happen. But for me, I'm very adamant that betting Miami is the way to go about this. Just take the +2. I took 2 points and moved on with my life. I think
because they have infinite stuff to play for.
That's exactly it. I mean,
33% for the 8 seed, 34 for the 7 seed, 13 for the 6 seed, 16 for the 5 seed. I mean, they're still around 30% to not be in the play-in. So Miami is very much the opposite of Dallas today.
Yeah, they want to put the pedal to the metal, and Philly having Embiid back, that is definitely forcing the hand even a little bit more, where you can't rely on anything random to show up, unexpected to show up. Indy is in the driver's seat there, but there is a chance that they can slide back. And then Orlando has a crazy range of outcomes for the playoffs. So just working through some of that today. I just found it kind of strange that Luka and Kyrie weren't ruled out today, that they would just play this one straight up for whatever reason. But no doubt that Miami, they're trying to win a basketball game.
John Galicia asked, can't the Mavs get the 4 seed? Yeah, but like, no, they have a 0.4%. They have a sub 1% chance to do that. You should not be making decisions to try to hit that lottery ticket.
Yeah, if you aggregate from a couple of spots, the highest you could get them is like 0.5. Like they're 0.4, add more funds. Other spots I'm seeing 0.6, 0.7, I guess. But like no matter whatever way you slice it, Dallas is almost locked. Like 99 point. Well, it is literally 98.6%, the place that you and I trust most to be the 5 seed.
So what else should we be paying up for here? Because obviously Dame just stands out, that he's got the whole team to himself today. I mean, Bobby Portis be damned, but Dame can do whatever he wants in this spot. Where else do we use our pay-ups? Because they kind of all look pretty similar.
The SGA one is tough, because I think we kind of nailed that, where the minutes could have been there immediately. They were there immediately.
Yeah, you were all over that.
I felt good about it, and I'm going to feel pretty decent about it in a game that they, once again, would like to win. Going back to them, we're just going to be citing this throughout. Around 55% to be the 3 seed, 34% to be the 2 seed, 11.6% to be the 1 seed. Minnesota and Denver play tonight, so somebody is going to get a downgrade out of that game. So the 2 seed is a very, very live deal for them. This is a game that they just want to go solidify. Now, do they have to probably push an SGA now that we've got Wemby out? Probably not, but I do think that he's somebody that I would rather roster him at 10-1 than Luka at 12-8, just based on what I think the rotations could look, or what the minutes would look like in either scenario here. This is a game Oklahoma City needs. They want to keep moving up in those ranks if they can. And obviously the 2 teams, somebody has to be losing. So is what it is. SGA, that's probably my second guy to be getting to. We got news already that Trae Young's going to be on a minutes limit. So that really makes it unappealing. I think, Bogdanovich, we'll work through some of Atlanta here and see if we can mine out anything. But for the most part, nothing really all that appealing to pay up for. The next guy really for me is Quickly. And I think that's kind of where it is for everybody.
I'm intrigued by OKC because I think in an optimal world, they'd like to stay at 3 based on the way that all of this looks. That would get them the Pelicans in the first round. I think they'd be pretty happy about that. You grab that 2 seed, and you don't know if you're ending up with Golden State or the Lakers, a team with chops in the playoffs in the past, which is probably a little scary for the team that doesn't have any of them. Whereas if you grab New Orleans, I think OKC probably thinks we've got this. Not now, let me be very clear. OKC is trying to win every game they're playing.
Yeah.
But if they could pick right now, grabbing 3 in the Pels, kind of like it.
I think they'd take Phoenix or Sacramento. That's who they would play if they're the 2 seed. They'd play the winner of Phoenix, Sacramento.
If I'm OKC, I don't want Phoenix.
I wouldn't want Phoenix either. I don't want that smoke, but like legitimately Phoenix and Sacramento.
I would definitely want Sacramento, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And Sacramento, I mean, that game, that they play 2 games from now here for Phoenix. So Phoenix plays LA, massive favorites now with everybody out for LA today. Yeah. Obviously yesterday was a debauchery, but I was doing some look ahead and trying to like find some not win playoff odds, tried to find something for the Discord, and Phoenix, Sacramento are the next game. So that's going to be primetime appointment viewing, kind of like Denver, Minnesota is for me tonight. So I'm excited for that one because they are kind of the deadlocked for that 7 or 8, and Phoenix just got a handout today. So congratulations to them for that. Sacramento, that spot, I would very much see them, you know, if they're able to win, they get the home matchup. It's 3 straight road games for the Suns to finish out their playoffs or to finish out their regular season before the play-in tournament. But I do think that you would prefer to play Sacramento out of just about any team that you listed.
Do you want to touch on any of the other pay-ups here? It's really just thin. I mean, the moment you sort of exclude Luka Doncic, you can kind of build whatever lineup you want at that point. There's just not enough salary at the top where you're super worried about it. And you can see it. It just, you get to that high 7, low 8K range where like everybody's 15% owned. And that seems to be where we're funneling outside of getting very easily to Damian Lillard. But I don't really have much else to, like, we've kind of hit on all of these dudes.
Yeah, again, it is a terrible matchup. It's Luka. He could transcend any matchup. And I'm just so confused why he's out there on a back-to-back. I'm still just kind of not sure what's going on. So it makes me think that there could be like something where they want him to play the first half or the first quarter, or there's some bonus, or maybe there's something that I don't know. But like Luka playing a full allotment of minutes seems very, very unlikely to me today. So yeah, when I'm taking him out of the top, I am pretty positive that I am going to be firing up just about anything else up in this range other than Luka. And there's not a whole lot. It's going to be a lot of 8K guys.
All right, we got a bunch of super chats in the queue, so let's hit them. Olrat, help me as you go through games. Who has to win? We'll be touching on that and detailing it through all of the conversations that we have, just like we started it off. So we will be touching on that kind of stuff. It is important. Deuce Trey said FanDuel plays position by position for cash. Now, this could change a little bit now that we just got that wealth of Atlanta news. This is not going to have any sort of updated ownership until that gets to run, but we'll be able to touch on a lot of this. For instance, a $4,900 center, Zach Collins, is currently projected for 76% ownership on, that's DraftKings. But either way, he's a popular old dude today. 57% owned on the FanDuel side. Power forward center eligible. You're absolutely 100 million % playing Zach Collins today in cash on FanDuel.
Yes, you are.
Sandro Mamukelashvili is center only. 45% owned. 30% optimal rate. He's probably going to be your center. We have Jordan Goodwin projected for 38% ownership at point guard. He's pretty well a lock at the point guard spot. You can get Jared Allen in at power forward. He's the 4th highest owned guys. Those first 4 are easy to get to. And then at that point, you could lock in the guy you're paying up for, which is Damian Lillard at 9,100. Those 5 guys are going to be your 5 primary options on FanDuel in a cash lineup.
No notes.
And then Ace of Spades. You know what we need to do here. It's time for some tiers conversation.
Yep, let's do it.
All righty. I'm getting it pulled up right now because I was not ready. Should have been ready. Knew it was coming, that's for sure. Tier 1. Well, this should be pretty fun. Are you looking at it yet?
Yep.
Okay, well, Tier 1 is Luka or Shea. It's
If
actually
Luka
tricky
plays
here.
basketball, you're probably playing Luka there, but I mean, I hate it. It's like a 13 fantasy point disparity, and yet there's a part of me that I'm like, I would love to take a shot on SGA in the game that matters.
I
can't recommend that. I mean,
Are you seeing chat? So Jordan Goodwin is currently listed as inactive.
What?
Per Josh Lloyd at this point, I think he only has 2 games left, so he's going to need to sit one of them.
It's going to be Xavier Simpson season, isn't it?
So put a pin in that Jordan Goodwin one. Turn that into Scottie Pippen. It won't make much of a difference.
Yep, I see where it's listed at. Jordan Goodwin out.
Yeah, I just saw Josh Lloyd post it. So shout out Josh Lloyd. Yeah, look, you got to pick Luka in tier 1, but if you are nervous about him not giving it the full freight, SGA should have very little issues beating up on San Antonio. But there's only 2 people left in that one. All right, tier 2. We only have 3 names here. Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard. We only have one answer.
Right. If you don't click Dame here, I don't know. I know you want to talk through getting contrarian. I bet that's the one that I would just be overlapping like 90, 100%. Even if I were making like 150 or in tiers, I would probably have all the Dame.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't do chat right now or I'm going to lose my mind. He's not out on FanDuel.
Look at, oh my God.
The news source of all news sources.
Yeah.
No, it's like going to the Onion.
You've missed my rants on, well, because I mean, you would never watch a show that I was doing like by omission, but like, I'm pretty positive that, yeah, there's like no way in God's green earth that you should ever be using DraftKings or FanDuel to inform green checkmark life. Like it's the thing that drives me nuts the most. I've been ranting about it for like a decade. I feel like they don't give a shit.
I barely trust FanDuel to like run their day-to-day operations on the DFS side, let alone get their news correct.
Yeah, there's that.
All right, we've got Miles Bridges, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland.
Oh, you skipped tier 3, didn't you?
Did I?
Yep.
Oh, Bam, tier 3. Banchero. Sorry.
Yeah, you're okay.
Bam, Banchero, Butler, and Jared Allen.
Yeah, I've got Banchero.
Give me Butler in that spot.
Don't mind it.
Actually.
Or Bam.
Yeah, give me Bam in that spot.
I think they're both good too, but again, Banchero, we're still like, I didn't have any of him yesterday. We're still waiting on the Franz Wagner news. I also think you're probably looking at Markelle Fultz resting. So, I mean, Paolo Banchero is going to look better, I'm assuming, come lock.
I would agree. All right, now officially to tier 4. Miles Bridges, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Cam Thomas, Josh Giddey.
Cam Thomas.
Team Miles Bridges all day, every day.
Okay, fair.
Tier 5, Chet, Tyler Hero, Jalen Williams, LeVert, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Brandon Miller.
Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, even with Trey back, no Murray, Bogdan's still the number 2 dude there and is going to play probably 35 minutes, 36 minutes. So, and then finally, Mikal Bridges, Franz Wagner, Nick Claxton, Clint Capella, Bobby Portis, and Gigi Jackson.
Bobby Portis.
Bopo.
Oh,
I made that up right now.
I saw that. Yeah, I would hope that that wasn't something you just, yeah. Well done. You just created a monster. See, nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady on chopped liver.
Well, with the way that we just heard that, it's perfect timing to give you guys the moment you all wait for every single time we do this show. That right there is perfect for your exotic play of the day.
Sorry for having fun, my bad. TJ McConnell had the most ridiculous, amazing quote that Greg retweeted, or like somebody describing TJ McConnell. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Pascal Siakam. Did you hear about that?
I did not. I thought you were just going to give me the quote.
No, I want to find Greg's Twitter so that I say it correctly, so that I'm not just misquoting this deal. But for those who aren't aware, Greg retweeted something about TJ McConnell's offended when white guys guard TJ McConnell. Here it is. Miles Turner was who said it. I think he takes it personal when he sees white boys guarding him. That's just another thing I see from him, too. He wants to be the white boy. Miles Turner on TJ McConnell.
Don't we all?
It's so fucking good.
I would love to be the white boy, but I can't be the white boy. And someone has to be the exotic boy for you. Who's that going to be today?
It's probably the easiest that we've had since you and I have been doing shows together. I've had some easy ones over the years, but or over the months. It feels like years from time to time, but there's no way that Zach Collins at 4,900 is not your exotic play of the night. We project him around 35. I mean, he's sub 5K on DK. On FanDuel, same thing. He adds a power forward eligibility for God knows what reason. There's just no reason that on either site that you're not playing an infinite amount of Zach Collins.
You may go to Zach Collins, and I don't think that's that bad of a play at all. He's currently projected for 70% ownership on DraftKings and a 40% optimal rate. I'm going to zag a little bit. Still a fantastic play. Not someone you're going to be mad about here. And probably looks a little bit better than when I originally started talking about the show. The white of the night is Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Love it. He's one of my favorite plays. Yep. Well,
me too.
I know you do.
So our co-whats of the night, Zach Collins, Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Oh my God. Was that a Chappelle Show reference quick?
A little bit. I'm working on it.
Okay. It sounded like you went to Chappelle Show and probably shouldn't be doing that one. That's so
get yourself some Bogdan Bogdanovic, guys.
Here for it.
Also, get yourself something in the stochastic odd shopper universe when it comes to golf. The promo code is Masters, no matter what you want. You want to sign up for our monthly PGA DFS packages, whether just data or sims, whatever you're looking for, 40% off using the promo code Masters. It ends tomorrow morning. Eric, do you know the time? Is it 6 or 8? One of those two?
Yeah, it'll be 4 a.m. my time. So 7 a.m. I believe. Yeah.
There you go.
It's done.
Look, you gotta beat the opening tees tomorrow. You get it in early if you can. Do it tonight while you're watching Eric and Jesse on playback. Can't believe that was a sentence that just had to come out of my mouth. But the promo code is Masters, 40% off on the DFS side. If you're not interested in the DFS side, I really don't like you at this moment, but I'll allow you to try something else out. Oddshopper.com for $1 for your first week. This one's a no-brainer. Whether you're in a sports betting state or in a pick'em state, we've got exactly what you need. And your worst case scenario here is that you come out of this down $1. You should absolutely be checking this out. We take a market-based approach to beating the books. Every single recommended play has expected value and expected win rates attached with immediate one-click action directly to wherever you need to go, your sports book, your pick'em site. Not to mention, we've got optimizers for all of the pick'em sites, parlay builders for all of the books, gives you all of the data based on everything that we have. Odds boost calculator, very helpful when they're popping up depending on which site you're looking for. No matter what you're doing today, heading into the Masters, DFS, sportsbooks, pick'em sites, we have a deal for you and the promo code is Masters. But if you don't get it by early tomorrow morning, you are out of luck. Click the links in the description or the ones in chat. Alrighty, GPP plays, weird slate. I imagine we're going to have a bunch of dudes where we're just like, well, this guy's not getting that much ownership. Happy to get to him. This guy's not getting that much ownership. Happy to get to him. Who are some guys that are standing out to you that maybe aren't getting as much representation?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Memphis stuff to get updated on our end for Jordan Goodwin to get taken out because that's now a first game that I was looking at being lower outside of Jordan Goodwin. I'm playing one big lineup, playing, the $4, just moving on with my life, but pretty positive that Jordan Goodwin being out is going to change drastically what I was planning to do with this team. You have G.G. Jackson at 6,600, but that's going to be a tough ask. Scottie Pippen Jr., I'm probably going to be getting to him here now, playing infinite minutes. And Jake LaRavia, this is probably going to be a dude who moves up my board a little bit too at 5K. It is a terrible, no good, very bad matchup against Cleveland, one of the better defensive teams that's now healthy. They are infinite dogs, like almost 20-point dogs here at this point in time. But I don't care. There's going to be 8 dudes active, and they have shown a desire maybe to not have Xavier Simpson play as much. But I think that might be the guy that I move up my board a little bit, just with the absence of Jordan Goodwin, just another true guard. And Timma, he ended up getting there in the third quarter or something it was, which bailed me out on a couple of lineups yesterday because he was not a good play relative to some of the other value on the slate. But today, I'm definitely going to be looking at this Memphis thing and trying to update things because there's going to be something lower owned than it should be in that spot.
I just came this close to smashing everything on my desk.
Why?
I'm sitting in 6th right now in the MLB early, and Joe Adell just got thrown out trying to steal 2nd, which would have jumped me into solo 3rd with live chances to win the entire contest. But now I need to like pray some other wild stuff happens in the bottom of the 9th.
Joe Adell, dude, the Joe Adell experience on my dynasty, which by the way is complete in shambles now. It has Strider and it has who's the other guy who got hurt? Shane Bieber. So both of them in shambles. That is not helpful to me. But Joe Adell has been there wasting away in Margaritaville on the bench forever. And then every time he gets called up, I'm like, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the Joe Adell time. And he goes yard today too. And I'm pretty happy. But overall, I know far too well what you're experiencing with that gentleman right now.
I'm very live. As long as they don't pinch hit for Tice, he'll have that at bat. And if he gets on or anybody gets on ahead of that, I have Moniak and Trout then coming around at the top of the order. If those guys can get up, I'm absolutely live. I'd be a lot more live if he was able to swipe 2nd.
Yeah, Moniak I was pretty high on today, and of course just 0 for 3. I think he has 2.
Yeah, they might pinch hit for him too, which scares me.
Yeah,
Franz Wagner out.
Live. Yeah, that was pretty certain. I was pretty certain of that one.
Do you have any? This is going to sound like a really weird one here. Do you have any interest in Jalen McDaniels?
No, my God.
Okay. We have him 12.5% optimal, 2% owned right now. That's just a leverage score that I want to keep an eye on a day like today. Similar for Jordan Nwora.
Oh, yeah, we got all that Toronto news while you were talking as well. When DeJounte Murray came in as out, DeAndre Hunter came in as out.
Oh yeah, we got Trent and Bruce Brown. Those ownership numbers are going to come up. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty positive, but I mean, McDaniels is going to be pretty darn popular on this slate. I don't know if I want to be doing that. He's just, now it comes down to like, what else do I want to be getting to from Toronto? And I think I probably want to get to just about everything else. I'm assuming McDaniels doesn't start. I mean, we haven't seen him start in one of these spots in quite some time.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Well, Bruno Fernando. He's our highest leverage option right now. 26.5% optimal, 15% owned.
So I really like the logic of that play a lot more, mainly because Capella, if you look around the industry, there's a lot of places that have him at 30 minutes. And I don't know if I agree with that, with everything we talked about with Atlanta having nothing to play for. Now, they want to get Trae Young acclimated quick. Like, he's got 3 games to kind of get the rust off, be ready to rock, play in tournament. You got to win 2 games to get to the playoffs, and then you move on. But Trae Young, getting him acclimated is the priority. And pretty positive that Clint Capella isn't going to be out there for like 30, 32 minutes alongside of him there. So Bruno Fernando, if you just make it a 24-24 split where it's like Clint Capella gets some reps in with Trae Young, you know, they do whatever they want to do. Sounds great. Try to work on what that iteration of the team looks like. The guy I actually have the most interest in on Atlanta is Garrison Matthews, as weird as that sounds. He's really, really cheap. This feels like the dude who could just eat and absorb a ton of minutes. He's been in this rotation here recently, and it sounds such late season NBA kind of take to say, but like Rinpack has always been really, really good at helping me identify these type of plays over the years. And it feels like, you know, everybody's going to look at him as a low fantasy point per minute guy, which is true. And you're going to be playing alongside Trae Young, and Trae Young is going to want his shots. True as well. But like, the minutes can really make up for the difference there. And in the event that something isn't quite right with Trae Young, I do think that there's actually a massive upside. I don't think I've ever said that about Garrison Matthews ever, but I do think there's an upside here for Garrison Matthews to play 32, 34 type minutes. Same thing with Vit Krejci, but not going to be sitting here saying that I'm going to jam him by any means. But Atlanta's kind of a weird one because we've got Capella pulling a ton of ownership on DraftKings, and I'm not sure about it.
All right. Bottom of the 9th. Angels down 2.
Do it.
As long as they're not pinch hitting, Tice is stepping up to the dish. I need something. Let's live sweat. Let's pick up a dub.
I'm ready.
Let's live sweat 50K.
I'll drive down the 5 and go beat somebody up if you need to. Just punch. No, I won't. I won't do that.
It would have been really dicey if he was able to swipe that bag. We did get updates while you were talking, I had to pop a piece of gum and try to salivate. Something stuck in my throat, and I don't have a drink.
Okay.
Cole Anthony is now the #1 leverage play today. 16% optimal, 7% owned. Where does he land for you? Because obviously the upside there is pretty big.
Yeah, probably somebody that I get to. I'm really only concerned about getting my Memphis pieces right, and then I'll swap around and figure out exactly what I want to be doing with some of these other pieces. But Jalen Suggs, somebody else that I also kind of like, but Orlando on the back-to-back, and the Cole Anthony minutes have been down. But what I think the big one is just getting Gary Harris out of there. He started yesterday, and so Franz Wagner, I was assuming, was going to be out, and Gary Harris was already out. So like, I think this is a spot now where completely makes sense. Maybe, like, I doubt they're going to dust off Anthony Black. He's played like 1 and 2 minutes the last couple. I'm pretty positive that Cole Anthony ends up being a guy 4,400 against Milwaukee. No reason that it can't be him. Although Markelle Fultz, did we get that official news yet? We're still waiting on him.
Available to play.
That's so dumb.
2 minutes ago.
Okay. That's awfully.
That's not
tilting.
as helpful for Cole Anthony, but I don't
No.
necessarily think it changes anything negatively for him. It just doesn't help him positively.
Yeah. I think for me, like, the biggest tournament play, because again, we're talking tournament plays, I think Devonte Graham is probably going to be the guy for me. He played 21 minutes yesterday, didn't do a whole hell of a lot, but like, you're going to take everybody off the floor, like everybody here. And then Malachi Branham, we're going to be waiting on this questionable news. If he ends up out, you're going to want to get to some Devonte Graham because he can go get you a bucket or two. And with no Keldon Johnson, no Chetty Osman as well, this could be a spot where I don't know if he would end up starting over the likes of Blake Wesley or somebody else, the city's Sissoko guy, but like Devonte Graham, I think, is more in line for the minutes than anybody else because they just don't care about his well-being. Like, you might as well just have Devonte Graham out there playing 30+ minutes.
All right, we got an update to the boom bust tool 46 seconds ago, so I'm refreshing that just to see when optimal rates repopulate. See if we have anybody else that we want to touch on from a GPP perspective. Does Kobe Buffkin get a minutes upgrade with Trey on a minutes limit? Not really. You're swapping out Murray for Trey at this point. There's a little bit more there for you with Trey being mildly limited, but I don't think that's going to be enough to matter too much here.
He was in my placeholder, but I would have wanted Trae Young and DeJounte Murray to both be out for that one. So, I mean, he was in my, I know where you're going with it, but you kind of needed both to be out, and then he would have been a jam at 3,200.
Absolutely. And yeah, like people are, chat was surprised that Trey is going to have any sort of minutes limit. Just because he broke his finger doesn't mean he's been out running around. Game shape's a lot different than anything else. So yeah, you don't just run him into the ground the first day playing a competitive matchup in what, a month plus?
Yeah, you don't do it. Xavier Simpson, this is a dude I'm going to have a ton of, by the way. Just for whatever it's worth.
I mean, that's better than Timmy. How did Timmy work out last night?
I said he got there in the third quarter to like salvage by getting to like 20. He didn't do jack shit, but like I thought he was going to play more than what he did. So in a lot of ways, I feel kind of like lucky for it. He played 31 minutes, but like kind of needed more than that, which is kind of the sad part of this Memphis rotation. But whatever. I mean, he was what yesterday, 3,200. I thought that was a lot more fun, and he is 4K today. So whatever. Not going to have to deal with him.
Tice got out in front 2-0 and then struck out.
Of course he did. I'm watching
I'm
Neto's.
I'm not shocked. Let's go. Just somebody get on, get that bat in Mike Trout's hand. Let him end this shit.
Well, you have Moniak. Moniak's the key.
I have Trout after that too. So I don't care who does. I trust Trout to do what I need more.
Do you have an unimpeded path to top to one? Do you have a?
I believe so.
Okay. I want
I do.
Moniak on. So Neto or Renifo on. Moniak.
Well,
on
Neto's out now too, so we just now Renifo just has to get on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this all ends,
dude.
And I want to lose my mind.
Yeah, Fairbanks is nasty. So
that caught stealing cost me $5,000.
Jesus. Why do we do this sometimes, man?
I don't know, but I don't like it.
Oh, I don't either.
I really don't. All right. I don't have anything else on the GPP play side, which means we're going to keep this one moving because we need the ultimate GPP play. The one that is the best of anything. One player today is going to go nuts. Absolutely insane. He might just nuke the slate. So that's why we got to give out the nuke of the night. In play, no outs. Moniak to the dish.
Oh my God.
Full on.
Oh, right
All
during
right.
the nuke segment too. Come on now.
I need 6.6 points to tie into first. So need 7. We need a big hit here.
Come on, Mickey. Oh boy, Mr. Mickey down there in Anaheim. That feels like it's made for you right now. Come on, Mickey.
I mean, if he doubles, I jump to first. Rengifo to second. Double scores the run, puts me in first. And then I just need Trout to get out at that point. And just end the game.
Was that runner indifference?
It was.
Okay.
But
So
I
was
don't
gonna say, you don't want
so.
the 5 for somebody else getting ready for stolen base or something.
That's a good point.
That's what I'm saying.
1-2 count to Moniak. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
He's a fucking bum lately.
We'll get to the nuke in the night in a second, but live sweating the potential early slate chipper.
Yeah, 50K shipper. It's worth live sweating.
You can give the nuke of the night, and I'll give any sort of updates. People will get to see me react with a death stare if it goes wrong.
All right. Well, this guy,
he's out, struck out like a fucking garbage piece of fucking. Who's your nuke of the night?
Tyler Hero.
I like okay, so wow, you're getting exotic everywhere today.
No, it's just that Zach Collins was the obvious one, and then I wanted to save Tyler Hero for this segment.
that was
saw that Jordan
Klein.
Also,
that was frustrating.
Also, remind me never to beat you in a game of anything.
Man, that stunk. All right, so nuke of the night, Tyler Hero. I like it. I like something from Miami to be the nuke of the night, just because of the way that entire matchup is lined up, the things that teams need or don't need. So you know what? I'm going to join you on that hill. But my nuke of the night is not going to be Tyler Hero. I can't do it. I can't give the same nuke. Where's that going to get us? And I'm not going to pick Jimmy Butler, because I hate Jimmy Butler, and I don't want to cheer for him to do anything positively. I'd like him to get hit with the nuke. So the nuke of the night is not somebody that anybody else is going to be talking about tonight. But Bam Adebayo is going to have a big day in Daniel Gafford's face. Bam Adebayo, nuke of the night. Let's go.
I'm actually here for that. So let's go team. Let's go team.
That one's a fun one. You know what else is fun?
Sleeper.
It is Sleeper. Great guess. That's fantastic. You can get up to $500 on your first deposit. It's the best thing that you can do. I say this every day. I have to say it just in case new people show up. Acquiring money is our goal here, whether we're winning bets or parlays or contests or whatever it is. If you're not acquiring money, this isn't going well. This is the easiest way to acquire money. You can get up to $500 on your first deposit. They'll match any amount. You have $237, they'll match with $237. But you should go up to $500 if you can. It's that easy. We've got tools like OddsShopper that you could acquire for $1. That wouldn't hurt, would it? I don't think so. You can use OddsShopper, get the plays on Sleeper, make even more money. That would be my way to do it. You can do that for an extra $1 right now just by using that promo. They have dynamic payouts, so there's multipliers on each side. You can get up to 100x on a card that you build. So my recommendation to you guys, use OddsShopper, sign up for Sleeper using either the link in the description or the one in chat, and get up to $500 on that first deposit. If you find after you play through that, you find out you don't want to be there any longer, I get it. But you've got a lot more money than you started with. So sign up at Sleeper. Riley Cooper, Benchero or Jimmy Beans?
Both.
I don't think that's the spirit of the answer.
Both. I have them projected for the exact same amount of fantasy points.
Okay.
Bancaro, nope. I've got Bancaro more now. Bancaro.
I cannot believe I just tied for 6th with a
I'm
shot.
sorry.
Oh,
Baseball sweats are the best and the worst. They are the best and they are the worst. And guess what? You're going to get the tail end of it more than you're going to get the up end of it. But you know what, Josh? You tried hard. You put together good lineups, and gosh darn it, people like you.
I think that's 4 top 10s since the season started.
It's pretty good. You're dancing around it.
I just need one of them to be the best thing, and all of a sudden it just changes like the next 2 months of playing baseball. But what are you gonna do?
Yep, I get it.
All right. We've talked about the guys that we like quite a bit, and there are some pretty heavy ownership numbers going on across this slate. So now I think we need to dig in a little bit further into the fades. Who's a little less interesting than maybe the public was leading on today? What are you trying to get away from?
I have 0% Clint Capella. I don't get it. 6,500. Again, Bruno Fernando was our guy, and I very much like the Bruno Fernando play because we know pretty good fantasy producer. We can get him to 24 minutes potentially. Again, I don't know what the necessary I don't know what Atlanta's trying to do here in this spot. I still going to get to some Bogdanovich because he's 6,900 there, and I think he's somebody that you don't necessarily protect. But like Capella, 6,500. I just kind of want to tone that down. We did actually tone it down a little bit. His projection was north of 40. He's down to 39.43 for us now. So that makes me happier to see because I am just not there. Garrison Matthews, I like getting to, even though our optimal percentage is now fallen off a cliff for him. For me, it's just like, what are you like? There's such extremes for some of these scenarios, like end of season. You're not going to have like, oh, you're going to be off by like 3 or 4 minutes here. You could be off by like 12, 16 minutes if they just decide to rest and not tell anybody because there's really nothing you can do about it. The other guy is Luka Doncic. I have 0. So the last time somebody on this panel had 0 of Luka Doncic on a slate, it did not go well. So congratulations to Luka on his next 100-point fantasy outcome. Really great stuff.
I really like that Clint Capella call just because of basically the exact same way that we talked about Bruno Fernando before. Like, I think there's a bit of a disparity between the two. I think it's so much more interesting to get to Bruno Fernando over Clint Capella right now as a very easy pivot. Your boy Garrison Matthews is up to 35% ownership.
Yeah, now 6% optimal. This is a little bit different. I didn't think people were going to get to Garrison Matthews quite like that. That is something. I think we're all assuming he starts. If he doesn't start, probably saves us from ourselves, or you just end up playing Trent Forrest. But it's going to be Garrison Matthews. I don't know why it wouldn't be. And then Vit Krejci. I think those are the two guys where it's like, I have like a strong disdain for trying to click on Vit Krejci ever. So 4K Vit Krejci probably the nuts today.
I'm looking through this ownership. So we have Trey Jones with massive negative leverage right now. I think that stands out a little bit. Obviously, like Zach Collins and Mamu both have negative leverage, but that's a different scenario when you're 40 and 50% optimal.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy. Clint Capella is up there with a pretty sizable negative leverage score. We have Garrison Matthews negatively leveraged, but that hasn't updated the. We got to get the optimal rate to refresh there because no one that's 5% optimal is 30% owned in anything ever. So that one doesn't really count. Just trying to see, do we have any other names sneaking to the top of our negative leverage table that we should talk about? Nobody with any sort of extreme number. I mean, Julian Champagny is right there alongside Trey Jones, about negative 10% leverage. He's also, 34% optimal. So I don't read into that sort of negative leverage as much. It does kind of make me want to just grab like random payout point guards instead of Lillard, but I don't really want to lead people down that path.
Yeah, it's a tough one to get away from a Lillard because Lillard, he's so much better than anything else in the range. Like, price considered along with projection, like he's just gonna be the guy. Anything else, you're just kind of taking a very, very risky stance. It's a lot easier for me to get away from a Luka on this slate, which is kind of wild to say, but it is what it is. I have more SGA than I have of Luka, and you guys know how many times I've played Luka on this show. I mean, I'm generally the jam Luka guy, so this is kind of opposite.
Me too.
For that.
I'm always the jam Luka guy. I can't think of a single scenario that has ever happened in DFS where I didn't just
No.
jam Luka. Ownership be damned, jam Luka. Or you can go the other way, play 0 shares of him, and then watch him score 100 fantasy points.
Yeah, and he was like over owned on that slate too, because we had him like around 40. I think everywhere it was like 40, 42%. He was like 50, 55% and put up 100.
Unreal.
DFS.
Truly
Unreal.
unbelievable.
Just win
Truly
the million
unbelievable.
PGA DFS this weekend. It'll make it all better.
Yeah, I win the million PGA DFS, and I'm going to disappear like a fart in the wind, man. Gone.
Oh, man.
Gone.
We are going to have Jesse doing content here before no time.
Yeah. If I legitimately, though, if I won the million, it would be like, I'll see you guys in October. Summer's off. Summer's off.
School's out.
I couldn't even imagine it. I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like having the $1 million, because obviously, like,
yeah,
it's not gonna, I would really enjoy my future time, but it's like, it's not gonna change my day to day. The sweat of that would be like, I wish I could bottle that.
Yeah, we've had 100K. You have a 250K hit. That was
no, I do not.
Wasn't it MMA? Didn't you?
No, it was like 88.
Oh, it was chopped. Okay, my
three-way chop.
Gotcha. Was that
It'd be a lot cooler if it wasn't.
They got it done as a dog.
It was Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards. There you go. There you go. Pretty good stuff.
But yeah, I'll have a lone bullet in that ridiculously massive millie where you basically just have to hit the nuts of your 6 golfers to get it done.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
for
that.
the Masters too, because it's 89 guys and like 10 of them don't matter. You're legitimately trying to go like 6 guys in the top 10. Like you're trying to hit.
Yeah.
So here's what I also tell people, because I think it's actually really, really fun. And somebody listening to this might actually do it. But like, if you want to really make $1 million and you're just like, oh, I'm not going to max out the million, not going to do anything else, take whatever lineup you would have entered and do a 5-way top 10 parlay at the Masters. Just take your 5 favorite golfers. You won't even need to take 6 and just parlay them to top 10. And you can get like the whatever 5 you want, and you're going to get close to like something for $1 million. Like there's a pretty good chance if you take one guy that's going to be like plus 600, plus 700 in that combination, maybe another one that's plus 400 or worse, like you're going to run into a lot of money. So do that. So if you want to just build out your lineup and you don't want to like enter the $2,000 or whatever it is, the third iteration of the million, not the 100, not the $10, but like you want to go for the big one, just parlay it at a sports book, put like $50 on it, and you're going to get something close to $1 million. So I've been telling a couple of my buddies to do that, and they've been enjoying, well, actually just the screenshots they send me are absurd shit. Like, Akshay Bhatia is going to win parlayed with this. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen.
All right, we got about 8 minutes to go here. I don't think I missed any other super chats. We've talked about some of our fades. So it is time for maybe, depending on who you are, could be your favorite play here, could be your least favorite play. I don't know where everybody lands on one Amber Heard. I'm a bit of a fan, little scary, probably fun for 24 hours, probably not fun permanently. Who will be your Amber Heard play of the day? Who's taking that dump in the bed?
Clint Capella. That Clint Capella could really, really, really injure me here. That's a guy I can't get to. I'm not going to. I think somebody that I'm rostering could definitely be Garrison Matthews. He is exotic, and that is not a great thing to be when you're playing basketball professionally for 99% of people. So let's go with him as the other flip side of it.
Chris Williams, thank you for gifting those memberships. I didn't see it. That's the only reason I didn't mention it. My bad, brother. Appreciate you. Did you just add a second person there? Because I was reading Chris's message before you said that. Did you say something?
Yeah, I said Garrison Matthews being the other side of it. So Clint Capella, the one who's going to probably take a shit on the slate for me. And then the guy who's going to take a shit in my lineup's Garrison Matthews.
I think the guy that is the most likely to really destroy you, and it could be either direction, is Luka Doncic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're projecting him for around 25% ownership. because of the way that he's projected relative to everybody else. I mean, we're talking 12, 13 fantasy points higher than everybody. He could just have a raw point ceiling that makes this a little bit more difficult to get to. Or it's the opposite side, and he cleans out 25% of the field because they just don't need to use him in that way.
I like the way that you said the second part of that. That's what we're going for.
Yeah. Any questions, folks? What do we got coming in here? 5 minutes to go. I'll take anything you got, unless they're 1v1s and 2v2s, at which point you should head directly to Stochastic and use the free player compare tool. Put in the names for whichever site you're playing on. It'll show you projections, ownership, optimal rates. It'll give you who you should take and a percentage of how frequently that combination is better than the other. It's the best thing on the site that people don't know about. Costs you absolutely nothing. We get a bajillion questions of 1v1s and 2v2s throughout the day. And all you have to do is go to Stochastic. You don't even have to have a sub. Just go there, type in the names that you're looking for, and immediately you've got that comparison built in for you. Ryan H., this is a good one. What do you think about taking Luka unders with the possibility he's limited?
Love it. Parlay them together too.
It's the only way that I would do it. I would take the shot of like piecing it all together for a big score than just taking like incremental bites. But go ahead.
100%. That's exactly what I was saying, is that when you want to be right, you want to be paid for being completely right. It's the Mikal Bridges first quarter thing all over again, where you got paid if you were right about that. So I'd be looking at alternate unders. I'd be looking at pairing them together. There's ways that he's just limited in the second half. There's ways that he's limited and, things don't pan out. He had a first quarter yesterday where he had 21, 7, and 4. I was talking to Jordan last night. We talked for a little bit and I was just like, isn't it just wild that that's like a normal thing Luka does? But yeah. Now today, of course, I work through everything and I'm like, oh, good. I'm fading Luka, my favorite person to get to on just about any slate. This should go really well.
Why am I not able to get to DK Sportsbook right now? Oh, there it is. I was going to take a peek at it and see what it looks like if you try to grab some of those alt lines.
For you too.
That seems fun, right?
Yep. I think it's actually just a sharp way to go about it. Because again, you're going towards a minute threshold where everything is going to be an expected outcome. And again, if you're wrong, you lost 20, 30 bucks. It doesn't really hurt you. But I am pretty convinced you could put him and Kyrie in the same bucket and just say, I don't think Jason Kidd's a moron. But Jason Kidd has shown to be a moron at times, so I'm not completely convinced of this fact. But I do think there is a very, very good chance for them to be limited today, if not just surprisingly ruled out. Or, again, they play a quarter or a half or play 30 minutes each. And then all of those parlayed unders look really nice together.
Yeah, I'm starting to piece it all together. Luka under alt points, Luka under alt assists doesn't exist.
What?
There's no like highly negative or like
gotcha.
Low assist number for him unless you go to a first quarter option. And then does he have an alt rebounding line? This is just on DK, by the way.
Gotcha.
You can get plus 700 on under 28.5 points, 9.5 assists, 8.5 rebounds.
That's nice. That's
ain't
nice.
bad. That ain't bad, right?
I could get down with that. Again, that's the way that I would be doing it, rather than saying just individual bets on each one, because you're basically all asking for the same outcome. So, like, sometimes it might not seem positive EV at the time because it's like, oh, this is a negative EV bet. Yeah, it's all under the same market-based assumption that he's going to play X minutes, or it gets bet into a specific spot because the public is taking overs or doing other things. Like, there's a lot of ways to be viewing it, but I view it from the lens that when you are correct about in extreme, which is kind of what it is, you want to get fully paid out for it.
Now I know why I can't place this, because I'm open. I have Zoom open right now, so I can't.
Gotcha.
So
you can't check your location. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw. I added under 4.5 threes made to it. Gets it to plus 800. Might as well take a little bit of a shot on it. That could be fun.
That'd be great. I would feel good about that. Obviously, thank you for the question if it pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I don't have anything else here right now. Let me see. All right. We talked about who needs wins on this slate already. Did we not?
Pretty positive we did. Like at length.
Like
a lot.
There are only one or two teams that are basically set in stone. Everybody else has jockeying room. So other than the Clippers being locked into the 4 and Dallas being locked into the 5, everybody on the entire slate is still trying to win. And I guess Boston locked into the 1, but that one's
yep.
That one goes without saying. Yeah, like only Dallas of teams that play today matter in terms of like playing for seeding.
That is correct.
S&P said Mavs Heat's an ESPN game. Good. I could watch me win on ESPN. That's fun. Guys, shout out to Sleeper for being the sponsor. The biggest shout out that I can give right now, though, is the promo code MASTERS. DFS, Odds Shopper, whichever one you're looking for, either 40% off of the DFS package or $1 for a week of Odds Shopper. This promo ends in the morning. Got to get to it, guys. Got to get to it. And you should be playing PGA because we've got great PGA tools. And it's the Masters. Who doesn't want to sweat the Masters over the weekend? If you don't enjoy watching the Masters, I don't think you're American. I really don't. Even Canadian Jesse likes watching the Masters. See what I did there? Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Playback.tv/Stokastic right now. Come on over and join us. Sweat bets, sweat news, watch games. That is what we are doing. We will talk to you later.